WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. And today I have something from the island of Arran. It's a 19-year-old bottling specially for Whiskybase. Specially bottled and selected for Whiskybase. If you don't know Whiskybase, I would highly, highly recommend it. It's a great place to go to find reviews for all the Scotch single malt whiskeys out there in the world, and also for many other things. It's a very European thing that is used more by us than rather the Americans or other people. But it's a great database. 80,000 different people now are members. And for this celebration, this cask was actually chosen. Casknumber 8A. I have no idea what the A means. It was a sherry hogshead. It was distilled on November 3rd, 2000, and it was bottled on 11th of May, 2020. So it's 14 years old. Sorry, it's 19 years old, 54.4% cask strength, no color added, Whiskybase number 161712, and I paid with packaging and postage costs from the Netherlands, 114 euros and 90 cents. So a total of 240 bottles were actually retrieved from this sherry hogshead, and I have bottle number 209. So basically, at least for me, anyone can go to the Isle of Arran distillery and say, hey, I want to buy a cask. And they're like, no problem. Hey, great, we'd love to sell you a cask. Are you allowed to sell the whiskey in your home country? And in, for my case, I have a business license. And on the business license, it says I am dealing with whiskey online. So I can actually sell whiskey online if I'd like, which I do. And therefore, no problem. Yep. So then you pick your cask, and then the question is, what would you pay for it? Now, if you take a look at the price, you have 240 bottles times 114, or 109 euros, what it originally costed. You're talking about 26,000 euros for this one cask bottle for the customer. So you have to deduct sales tax, which I think is 21% in the Netherlands. You have to deduct the excise tax, which is for the alcohol you have to pay, which is basically the same as sales tax. So you have to deduct another 21%. If you take off maybe Whiskybase earned a tiny little bit for administration costs, let's say they added about 5, maybe 10 euros on top of each bottle. So basically my experience at the moment, I'm buying casks and actually waiting for them to be finished, matured, and to actually then sell them. You pay half the money at the beginning for the cask, and you pay the other half to have it bottled, excise tax, as well as sales tax. And so basically they paid maybe around 13,000, I would guess maybe 12,500 euros for this cask, which is interesting. So you could actually go there and say, hey, I need a cask. I have some $1,000 laying around, and I'd like to buy it, bottle it, and send it to the States. Which they would say, hey, no problem. You as an individual can't, but you may have a liquor store or a bar that would do that, and then the whiskey clubs do that all the time. So it'd be possible to do that. So you get your nice little box, you get your nice little label here, non-chilled filtered, natural color, you have all that information on there. Even on the back, you have specially bottled here for the Whiskybase with a tiny little bit of information, and you have a special label. I have a friend, he has a whiskey shop. He actually did his own bottling. It was 9 years old, not 19 years old, so it was much, much cheaper. But it's no problem to do that. So if anyone wants to go to Scotland or contact people in Scotland, I'm sure they would love to hear from you and say hi from WhiskyJason. Oh, they're probably going to hate me for that. All right. Okay, a lot of sherry. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually compare it to the old Arran 18. I have not yet bought the new Arran 18. I'm so sorry. The new Arran 18 actually has a different cask composition. In Hamburg at the Whiskey Fair, I actually interviewed the European brand ambassador here from the Arran, great lady. And she actually mentioned that, and there's nice squatty, a little bit squattier bottles here. Now, I'm just going to compare the two of these. To be very, very honest, I'm not a great fan of Arran. So why did you buy the bottle? Well, I have a WhatsApp bottle share group with about 260 people in it at the moment. I actually have two groups because only 100 and 255 people can fit in each group. And what I do is actually I just post the bottle. I divide it up into little tiny 5 cl and 10 cl bottles, and they get to buy the bottles, and everyone gets to be happy. And that's what I did because this was something that was gone within hours. So even online is gone. No one has actually offering it actually in the Whiskybase. It's something that was I'm not going to say collector's items, but it was one of those connoisseur type of things where if you got it, you're happy. And if you didn't get it, I would have loved to have one of those 240 bottles. And so I made basically 13 other people happy. Those 13 other people got 5 cl of this bottle. I kept 5 cl, which I'm going to also put up on my list, and then people can actually then also purchase that last 5 cl. So I can do a review, I can get rid of the bottle, and everyone's happy, including me. It's a little bit of work filling up those bottles, but hey, that's the way it goes at the moment. There's a treacle, this corn syrup, dark maple syrup, without the maple, a syrupy, dark moment there. And on top of it, there's a little bit of a light type of citrus moment. And a not ripe pear. No, not pear, plum, sorry. Over here, there's more of a lactose acid, a little bit of a baby milk type of moment, and a lot more of a herbal type of moment. If you ever had maybe from Switzerland, they have like a cough drop with like 37 different herbs in there. That would be what I'm talking about. Ricola. If you know the commercial, who invented it? Yes, the Swiss invented it. And that's what I'm getting in there. All right, 54.4%, 114 euros for me, one of 240 bottles, and the sherry Hogshead here is actually very, very, it's not a first fill sherry Hogshead. I talked with George Grant a few years ago from Glenfarclas. He's the next in line to become the heir of the Glenfarclas family. He personally has 2 girls himself. Great guy. I actually like him a lot. He's like, oh, the first fill, no. We get rid of those real quick, and then the second, third, and even fourth fill he really loves. Put something in a fourth fill and let it sit for 30 years. He's happy. You still get the sherry maturation, but yet you don't have an overloading of that, and that's what I'm having here. I'd say this is probably a second fill sherry cask. Why is it not Oloroso? Why is it not Pedro Jimenez? Why is it not Fino or Amontillado? Because it might not have been any of those. It might have just been a sherry cask, seasoned, and then used once, and then used again here for us today. Cheers. To be very honest, I'm not a great fan of this. I'm going to say the word temperature at this ABV. There's a slight bitterness. It's somewhat hot. There's a lot of pepper in there, and it just overpowers my palate a little bit. So what I like to do with this whiskey is I like to bring it down. It goes from the 54.4% down to about 48%. And then it gets to a sweet spot, in my opinion. Let's try again. Even the nose, it opens up. It gets more of a floral moment, more of a citrus, more of a lime. A little bit more of those herbs kicking in now. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's still somewhat hot towards the end for a 19-year-old sherry Hogshead, but yet this is a good whiskey. I'm sure some people are going to love it. Actually, if you go to Whiskybase and you look at the reviews, They use the 100-point system. You have one person who gave it a 90. You have 4 people that gave it a 89, and you have one person that gave it an 88. For me, without water, it's more like an 82. And with water, I'd go up to maybe even an 86. I'm not a great fan of Arran, don't forget. All right, so this is not something where you have not heard me say one single time. Other people are going to go but not me. In comparison, the Arran 18, old bottling. Which I like a little bit better. I actually did a blind tasting, 6 different 18-year-old whiskeys, Auchentoshan 18, Arran 18. There are a few others in there. I think Glenfarclas 18 and so on. Glendronach 1, of course. Glenallachie was very, very... No, there was no Glenallachie, but there was a Glendronach saying that one immediately. I like this better. This is more my wheelhouse. This is more my flavor profiles, and yet it's still, this is a C to C plus whiskey, and this is on a good day a C plus plus. Just my personal opinion here. Am I disappointed? No. I'm going to make a lot of people happy with this bottle. If I were at home and I had this all by myself and I bought it for the 110 plus euros that I paid for it and I had to drink it all by myself, yes, I would not have bought it. No. But I knew what I was doing. I knew what I was going to do with it, and I'm very happy that I'm going to make a lot of people, some people in Germany, at least very, very happy that they can share this unique bottling with them. All right, thank you very much. If you have never tried whiskybase.com, I use it basically as a reference point where I can find the information for the vintage, the bottling, the age, the cask number, the numbers of bottle, the strength. I have some pictures there you can look at, and there's some good review from people. Now, what other people do is actually they have a profile there, like 80,000 other people do, and they actually put their bottles into the system. And then you can see on a virtual shelf actually all the different your bottles. You can say if they're closed, if they're open, if they're empty. And you can actually, if you're in Europe at least, you can sell your bottles also online. Closed bottles only, of course, but that's also, there's a marketplace to do that. It's based in the Netherlands, and so it's very, very interesting for us Europeans. Thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, tell others, maybe even share the video if you'd be so kind on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Snapchat, whatever you have there, I don't care. And you can contact me anytime you want, whiskeyjason@gmail.com. Question of the day, what is your favorite Arran expression? And I really don't know. It's not the 18, it's not the 21, it's not this. I really do not know what my favorite expression is from Arran yet. I'm going to have to try some more and actually find that out in the future. Thank you very much for watching. Whiskey Jason here. Bye-bye.